Hello, Murtaza. This is Gene again. I thought I would record another story for you today. I hope you are having a good weekend. It's Sunday here, and it's a nice day outside. With any luck, maybe you got outside and got to play a little bit. So I think this is a new story. We haven't read it before, but it's called Don't Feed the Pigeons. Do you know what a pigeon is? That's these little birds here that you often see in the parks and in tall buildings, and they make a big mess, which is why you don't feed the pigeons. Now, Don't Feed the Pigeons is written by Anne Harth, our favorite author. Eva and Tony ate lunch in the park. A pigeon landed next to their bench. Eva gave him a piece of her sandwich. So which one of these two here is Eva? How do you know? Eva is the one with the sandwich, so it must be her, Eva. And this must be Tony. Okay, so let's see what happened after Eva gave the pigeon a piece of her sandwich. Don't feed the pigeon, Tony said. Why not? Eva asked as she took a bite of her sandwich. If you feed one, hundreds will come. Do you really think 100 pigeons would come if they just give these two pigeons a little bite? Another pigeon landed on the bench. This is the bench. Eva gave him a piece of her sandwich. Tony shook his head. You'll be sorry. He stood up. I'm going to the corner shop. Do you want to come? Eva looked at the pigeons. I'll wait here. I'll be right back. Don't feed the pigeons. A third pigeon landed on the bench. Eva gave him a piece of her sandwich. Uh-oh, look how many pigeons there are now. How many pigeons are there? Ooh, 4 pigeons, and they look very bold. And do you see this word, I'll? I'll is what happens when you put I and will together. Don't is do not. Do not feed the pigeons. Okay, well, Eva's making a mess of it so far. Let's see what happens. Suddenly, pigeons came from everywhere. They flapped and fluttered. They covered the ground. They covered the bench. Ooh, how many are there now? Can you count them? Quite a few, I see. Ooh. The sky was full of pigeons. There were hundreds of them. Eva threw pieces of her sandwich to them. Soon her sandwich was all gone. All gone. Do you know what gone is? Gone is no more, not here anymore. Eva, I don't think, even got to eat. People walked past. They smiled and shook their heads. You shouldn't feed the pigeons, a little boy shouted. Eva waved her arms. One by one, the pigeons flew away. Why do you think they flew away? Is it because she's waving her arms? Or is it because there's no more food? When Tony came back, the pigeons were gone. He took a bite of his sandwich. Eva's stomach rumbled. Do you know what rumbled means? It's when your stomach makes all kinds of noises because it's really hungry. She was still hungry. She watched Tony as he ate his lunch. What's wrong? Tony asked. I'm still hungry. Ava rubbed her stomach. Do you know what your stomach is? It's your tummy. You fed the pigeons, didn't you? Eva nodded. Did you give them all of your lunch? Asked Tony. Eva nodded again. Her stomach rumbled again. Here, said Tony. When Tony says here, what do you mean? What do you think he's doing? Do you think he's sharing his sandwich with her? I bet he is. Let's see. He held out half of his sandwich. You can have the rest of my sandwich, but you have to promise me one thing. I know, Eva said. I promise never to feed the pigeons. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Normally the pigeons would all be back because they would see the food. So let me ask you a couple of questions. What does Eva feed the pigeons? Can you remember? And here's a hint. Afterwards, what happens to Eva's lunch? And where does Tony go while Eva is feeding the pigeons? And then what does he do when he comes back and he hears that Eva's hungry? Okay, and finally, what does Eva promise never to do again? I think that's a very good idea. Okay, Murtaza. Well, it's been good reading for you, although I wish it was you reading to me. I think you are much a very good reader. So I hope you've been able to practice while we haven't been doing this. And I hope you enjoy this story, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.